Hello, my loves. Today I will be reading a story to you called Rechenka's Eggs. If you decide to take the test on this, the AR quiz number is 9790. Babushka lived alone in a dasha, a little house in the country, but she was known far and wide for her fine eggs that she so lovingly painted. Her eggs were so beautiful that she always won first prize at the Easter festival in Moscow. Each day, Babushka would take the shell of an egg from her basket and paint it with wonderful designs, using the shapes of stars and flowers, triangles and circles. All through the long, cold winter, Babushka painted. And then one day, after a snowstorm, Babushka went outside. She could still hear the faint sound of falling snow. It was a sound soft like rain. Herds of caribou came to feed at Babushka's because the grasses that they usually ate were now covered with snow. "A miracle," she whispered as she fed some of them. "These wild things have found their way to me." Just then, a flock of noisy geese honked loudly overhead. As they glided over the snow, one of them faltered and fell from the sky. Babushka went to where the goose lay, crumpled in the snow. "A hunter did this," Babushka grumbled. She carefully picked up the goose and took it back to her little house. There she fed the little goose from her own table and put the goose in her best basket lined with the warmest quilt from her very own bed. "I shall name you a good name, one that we both will like, my little friend?" she said as she patted the goose on the head. "How do you like Rechenka?" "Yes, Rechenka you shall be." And with Babushka's care, Rechenka grew stronger each day. To repay her kindness, Rechenka laid an egg for breakfast every morning. As Rechenka got better, she waddled around the little house, exploring every nook and cupboard and corner. One day she jumped up on top of Babushka's work table, overturning jars of brightly colored paint that she was using to color the eggs. "Nyait!" Babushka screamed as she chased the goose with the broom. "No!" The frightened goose flapped her wings to get away and knocked over the basket of eggs that Babushka had so lovingly painted. The eggs crashed onto the floor and shattered into millions of pieces. They were both very sad. There was no reason for Babushka to go to the festival. The next morning, Babushka slowly got out of bed and trundled over to Rechenka's basket to get her morning egg. But when she reached into the middle of the quilt, she picked out the most brilliantly colored egg that she had ever seen. "A miracle," Babushka whispered. "A miracle." She made small holes at both ends of the egg and blew the yolk and the white into a dish to cook and eat for later. Then she held the egg up to the morning light and marveled at its beauty. After that, every morning for 12 mornings, there was another egg, each one more beautiful than the one that was laid the day before. Soon, Babushka had enough eggs to take to the festival in Moscow. "How wonderful!" she thought. "A miracle has replaced the eggs that were broken." "Spring is here, my little friend," Babushka said to Rechenka the morning of the festival. "Soon now you will be flying off to the north with your own flock." She bustled to the hearth fire and brewed some of her most favorite tea. The two of them shared a saucer of tea with kulich, a sweet Easter bread. She covered each piece with pashka, a spread that was made of cheese, butter, and raisins. They savored each bit together. "One for you, one for me," Babushka chanted. "Da, da, my little friend, I shall sorely miss you, but you're a wild thing, and a miracle sent you to me, and it would not be right to ask you to stay with me forever." So when Babushka left her little house, she took one last look at Rechenka sitting on the doorstep. She waved and then took determined steps for Moscow with her basket of precious eggs. She crossed Levitov Valley, where the caribou mothers were walking their newborn calves. "A miracle," she thought. "New little lives." She crossed the bridge over to Moscow, and soon she could see the onion domes. The festival was bright and exciting. There were goat carts selling kulich, processions, dancers, jugglers, laughing children, playing and running. Babushka showed her old friends the eggs. "Her eggs are the most beautiful in all of Russia," they thought. "Look at them," the elders said. "They almost glow, as if the paint is part of the shell itself." The judges picked Babushka's eggs as the most beautiful. Babushka was so happy, she beamed as she looked at the first prize, a feather bed quilt. As Babushka made her way homeward, a honking flock of geese flew overhead. Babushka gave them a long, lingering look. She wondered if Rechenka was one of them. When Babushka arrived at her home that evening, Rechenka was gone. Alone, she put the new quilt on her little bed, brewed a cup of tea, and ate the last of the kulich and pashka, got into bed with her favorite book of poems, and drifted off to sleep. She had not even noticed Rechenka's basket. But that night, Babushka was awakened from a sound sleep by an ever so small sound. It was coming from Rechenka's basket. So she hobbled closer and saw a glorious egg. But this one was different from all of the others. It quivered. It moved. It made tiny muffled sounds. The egg jumped, bumped, rolled, and pitched in the basket. Then there was a crack, and Babushka could see the very special gift that Rechenka had left for her. "All a miracle," Babushka said, and this little goose remained with Babushka always.